Hello. Here we are again for a lovely session of, you know, getting into our healing from the inside out, scrub-a-dub-dubbing all through the joints and the ligaments and the muscles and the tendons and freeing ourselves through the nervous system, coming into a regulated state from within so that we can better participate in the world out there. Yeah. So make sure you have yourself set up facing the wall today. Well, I mean, you don't have to be facing it, but just near a wall. Have a bolster, have a blanket, and have two blocks if you can. Again, one foam and one of something more solid, whether it's cork or wood or even like the really dense foam. But you'll definitely want one of those lighter ones because, of course, we'll be doing a little more flossing through the shoulders today and some hip therapeutics as well. And of course, all the lovely spaces in between. So let's start laying down on the belly. Stacking your hands so that your forehead or your chin or a cheek, whatever's comfortable for you, can just rest down. Feel the hips as they just sink and soften, and you can start to feel a little bit of release in through the lower back. Breathe all the way in, feel the expansiveness into your abdomen, and breathe out. So focusing our awareness down into the root chakra, so all the way down to the base of your torso, we'll bring some gentle movement into the body. So place the palms underneath the shoulders, elbows draw back and in. So that action alone, you'll feel your shoulder blades slide down on the back. Your head is floating away from the ground, just kind of hovering to keep your head in line with your spine. It's likely already happening naturally. Now, with that same awareness in your shoulders, start to anchor your hips down. So actively push your hips down in the ground. You'll notice your upper body will lift the tiniest bit. Now, activate through the quadriceps and press the tops of your feet down. You'll notice your upper body starts to lift a little more as you continue to press your feet down. Now keep your elbows cinched into your waist. Put a little bit of pressure into your palms. Keep your belly button on the floor and exhale, soften. Let everything relax. Forehead comes down. Do it again. Inhale, float up through the head and chest as the shoulders come back and down, hips push down, legs engage, feet push down, chest lifts that tiny bit more, and exhale, soften everything back down. Do one more like that, pressing the hips down, the head starts to float. Legs engage, chest floats more, elbows are cinched in, a little pressure through the hands, and we fold down. So same idea, except that now we'll be floating our legs up with the head and focusing on the hip pressure going down and the elbows cinching back and in. And exhale, come all the way down. Two more like that. Inhale, float yourself up. You might find it easier with the legs. The toes are reaching back to find the hover. And release. All the way down with control. One more. All the way up. And down. Let your forehead come all the way to the ground and reach your arms forward. Shoulder blades are flat on the back. Same idea, but now arms and legs are floating at the same time. So press the hips down, inhale, float up. Exhale, lower down. Nice and easy. We're not trying to go fast. We want it to be smooth. Inhale, come up. And down. Exhale. Again, all the way up. And down. Stack the hands, rest on your left cheek or the left side of your head. Pause here. So you're looking to the right, legs stay down. Inhale, float the arms, float the chest, your head comes along for the ride. Legs are down, but they're engaged. And exhale, come down. 2 more like that. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Forehead faces down. And look to the left, resting on the right side of your head. Same thing, engage the legs, float the upper body up. You're looking to the left. Your head is relaxing into the hands. And we exhale, come down. 2 more times, up. And down. One more time, up. And exhale, down. Forehead faces down. Beautiful. Now from here, bring your forehead to the mat and bring your right hand behind your head. Then bring your left arm all the way down and back behind your back. Now see about reaching your right fingers down between your shoulder blades and your left fingers up to meet your right. Now that might not happen, that's okay, that's why we have the first position. Breathe in, upper body floats up. Look down to the mat and exhale. Lower down. Release the arms to just switch the right hand behind the back and the left hand behind the skull. So you can choose to stay right here. If available, left hand can work toward the space between shoulder blades and the right fingers can reach up to maybe find the left. And we inhale, head and chest float just that little bit. We keep looking down. And lower down. Undo through the arms, let them come down by your sides. Plant the palms under your shoulders. Push up, cobra, inhale. Extend your cobra, let your belly button come away from the ground, maybe your arms straighten. Look at all the space you have. As you breathe out, pull your hips back to your heels, child's pose. Arms are long, forehead to the mat. Notice all that beautiful length in your spine. Inhale, table. Slide shoulders ahead of the wrists, tuck the toes, float the knees, plank. Here we are, we have arrived. You're nice and long, you're super strong. Another inhale. Now we'll exhale, lower the knees, pull the chest and chin forward and down, keep your bum up. Draw the elbows in, feel your throat open. And then nice and easy, let your hips come down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, push up and back, downward dog. Hips lift up. Lengthen as best as you can today through your spine. Pull your hips away from your armpits. Maybe your heels work toward the ground as you work in through your quadriceps. Maybe your heels are up and your knees are bent. Both are fantastic. Find what works for you today. Another inhale, exhale here. And nice and easy. Lower the knees. Child's pose. Hands to the heels, let your forehead come down. And we'll inhale up to seated on the shins. Of course, using your blanket or bolster here if you need any further support, grabbing your foam block into the right hand, sweep the right hand to the ceiling, and then bring the hand behind your back. Left hand comes behind and grabs onto the block as well. So both hands are on the block. Breathe in. Breathe out. Just take a nice easy fold forward over the thighs. And come up. Block stays in the left hand. Switch the arms. Left arm reaches up. Right arm comes down. Left hand behind the back. Right hand grabs the block. So both hands touch the block. And we exhale, fold forward. So contain the core. And we'll come up. Beautiful. This time we'll open up through the arms. So both arms reach up. Keep the block in your right hand. Hips off of the heels. Right foot comes forward. Exhale, left arm down behind the back. Right hand drops down back. Find the block. Fold forward. So you're holding on with both hands. Come back up. Now we release block into left hand. Both hands reach up. Right knee comes back and down. Left foot steps forward. We exhale. Let the right arm drop down. Left hand comes behind the back. Grab on to the block with both hands as best as you can. And fold. Just a nice easy bow. And we'll come up. Block back into the right hand. Both hands reach up. Left knee comes back and down. Sit down. Hips to heels. Ooh, okay. Inhale, we'll come up and off the heels. Right foot steps forward. Left toes tuck. Left knee floats. Right hand drops behind the back. Left arm scoops down and up. Hang on to the block. So your back heel is lifted and we fold forward. Good. Now we come up, block in the left hand, sweep the hands up. Exhale to warrior two. Left heel drops, open the arm. So the block is still on the left hand. Exalt the warrior here. And then come back up. Beautiful. So we come back to crescent as we lift the back heel, hands sweep up, left knee comes down, untuck the toes, right knee down. Left foot steps forward, right toes tuck, float the right knee up. Drop the left hand behind the back, right arm scoops down and around, grab your block and fold. We'll come all the way up. Block stays in the left hand, arms reach up. And we'll open into warrior two here. Yeah. And we'll exalt, reach back. Beautiful. Come back to warrior two. Back to crescent, lifting your back heel. Right knee comes down, untuck the toes, left knee comes back, hips come down. Set your block aside, sitting onto your shins, and just roll the shoulders a few times. Beautiful. All right, from here, hands forward, you come back into your tabletop pose. Tuck your toes, downward dog, knees and hips up and back. Bring the sole of your right foot to the inner left ankle. So the right knee starts to point outward. Just hang out, breathe in. Breathe out. Walk your hands to your feet. So your feet are in the same position. And come all the way up to stand, circling the arms to the ceiling. Exhale, fold back forward so your legs are still in that same position, working tree pose. Hands walk forward, your back to down dog. Let your right leg come back to neutral, heel down. Left knee points out so that the sole of the left foot comes to the inner right ankle. And just hold here. Pull the back of the left thigh away from you. Your navel draws in. Your right hip still pulls back a bit too. And we'll take the time to walk the hands toward the feet. Press into the right foot, come all the way up, circle your arms, Vrksasana, tree pose. And we'll exhale, come all the way back down, nice and smooth, fingers to the ground, walk the hands forward. And release the left leg, neutral. Breathe in, breathe out. Lower the knees. Untuck the toes, find cow pose, dip your belly. Cat pose, exhale, round the spine. Dip the belly. Round the back. One more time. Dip the belly down. And round your back. Come back to neutral spine. Now from here, just bring your legs together and your left leg crosses behind your right. Open your feet and sit back into Gomukhasana. Now, of course, if you discovered that that's not going to fly, you can get here any other way and lengthen out your bottom leg as well. So just stay nice and tall, breathe in. Breathe out. Let's just take a nice, easy twist to the right. Right hand comes behind you. And we'll inhale, come back through center. Now we're walking the hands all the way over to the left. Look to your left shoulder. Keep looking there. Walk your hands back. Let your hips lift. You're walking all the way around back to land once again in Gomukhasana, but with the opposite leg on top now. So your left leg is on top. Yeah. It's one of those things that seems really confusing when you actually cue through it, but when you physically do it, it makes a lot of sense. So we'll stay here just for a little bit of time, settling in. Enjoy a lovely twist to the left. Left hand comes behind. And then take your time. We're coming forward here. You might need your hands to help you. You might want one forward, one back. Push your hips away from the ground so you can come to table. Yeah? Okay, and just uncross the right leg. So you're back into a neutral position. Tuck your toes, downward dog, knees and hips up and back. Feet are hip distance apart. Lower your heels to the left so your feet are down. Bend your knees so you're like sitting in a sideways chair, and let your right hand lift up. So it's almost like a fallen chair pose. Okay, and then come back down with your right hand. Let your heels come back neutral. And let your heels start to drop to the right. And let your hips start to lower. So your knees are bending to keep the soles of your feet down. Then that makes it easier for the left hand to reach up. So just find that sweet spot there. Then we'll switch. So left hand comes down, we're back neutral. Now you can do that same movement for these next variations. You do you. If available, cross your right thigh over your left. So you bring your right thigh in front of your left. And you can let that foot lift off the ground and really hug. Drop your left heel down, your right hand reaches up. So you're still in that fallen chair, but you're just hanging out with that top leg. Yeah? Now we exhale, right hand down. Undo. Step your right toes to the mat and cross left one in front. Let your right heel drop to the right, your hips drop, and your left hand reaches up. You're hanging out here. Left hand down. Back neutral. Breathe in. Cross the right thigh over the left. Left heel drops, knees point right. Reach up. Beautiful. Then we come back down. Right leg sweeps up, 3-limb dog. Right knee pulls into chest, foot steps to the outer left hand, outer foot on the ground. Left heel drops, fallen triangle. Big stretch and strengthen. Left hand reaches away. And left hand comes down. Back to downward dog with the right foot. Left leg crosses in front. Drop the right heel. Left hand reaches up. And then we come down, left hand. Back to neutral. Left leg sweeps to the ceiling. Left knee pulls in, foot steps outside right hand, outer foot is on the mat, right heel drops, right hand reaches up, fallen triangle here. Yeah. Downward dog. Come all the way back. Breathe in. Look forward. Walk forward. Exhale. Look forward, breath in, halfway lift. And exhale, just hang out here, interlace through the arms, let your elbows feel heavy. Breathe in and out of the nose, feel the weight of your body shift tiny bits more to your toes. And maybe just rotate the upper body as you look left and right with a little twist. And release. Fingertips come to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, look forward. Exhale, stand up. Circle your arms, breath in. And hands to the heart, breath out, close the eyes for a moment. Feel everything settling into place and notice how tall you feel already. Isn't that amazing? Breathe in, breathe out. Beautiful. Let's open the eyes. And now from here, we circle the arms as the right leg floats up. Now exhale, bring your right ankle across your left thigh, right knee comes wide, and sit in the chair that's not there. Beautiful. Breathe in. Breathe out. Fold forward, fingertips to the mat as best as you can. Inhale. Exhale. One more time in. And out. Good. Press into the left foot. Come all the way back up. Undo your right leg and sweep it back to warrior three, but have your hands resting on your left thigh. So your left knee is actually a bit more bent now. So you're almost still in the chair, but you get a little more support to float your right leg. Then we'll come back up, Tadasana. Circle the arms, left leg floats up. As you exhale, bring the left ankle across the right thigh and sit in the chair that's not there. And breathe in and out, pull your thumbs back, or maybe fold forward to your edge. Breathe. Stay strong wherever you are. Good. Now we start to bring the upper body up, so left leg can undo, sweep to warrior three. We place our hands on the right quadricep as we reach the left toes back. And just find that nice big stretch. Isn't that lovely? And we'll release. Tadasana. Shake it out. Sweep the hands up, breath in. As we breathe out, fold forward, hinge at the hips, halfway lift, breath in, breath out. Bend your knees to lower your hips onto your heels in a little squat. Beautiful. Hang out here. Do your best to keep the weight equal across the toes so that your heels can stay aligned over the toes. Try to avoid them flopping out to the sides. Now from here, let your heels lower enough so you can open your knees. So we're aiming to get the soles of the feet together and the knees wide. Does it happen right away? Not usually. Take your time. And when you arrive, perhaps practice lifting one hand or both hands up and off the mat in prayer pose, nice and tall. And then take your time, release the hands down, adjust your legs so you can easily bring your knees to face forward, and just turn to face the wall and let your knees come down. So we're going to open the space to practice chin stand, and we want to keep things easy, so you're going to go to the edge that works for you. Aim to have the front of your chin on the ground, especially if this is new for you. Please do not start with your throat super open, unless you have like a gymnastics background or something like that. But try to have the chin down. It will make this easier to approach, okay? So we'll bring the palms forward and down into table pose. And then from here, we pull the shoulders ahead of the wrists. And as we do that, the elbows pull back and into the ribs. And we let our chin come down, okay? So again, you can have the front of your chin on the mat. Now, when we do this, notice the alignment of my elbows over the wrists. That's very important, okay? So you can stay here the whole time. You can come in and out of this and try several repetitions as we have this practice space, okay? So the main mechanics, we come down, the hips lift. Maybe you practice having the knees up, because that can be a lot, okay? Because once we get into the full chin stand, it's a faster movement, but in order to get to the space where you feel good doing that faster movement, you need to get more comfortable doing these basic parts of it. Otherwise, you won't be able to hold your structure, okay? So you've got those two basic movements and you can keep doing those. If it becomes open and you feel nice and stable in your foundation that you create, you can come into chin stand basically kicking up to the wall, and your spine catches you. So it's not generally an inversion that you go flying forward or like rolling over, but you do need to make sure you feel comfortable and strong in your setting here. So you might not be trying this today. You can rewatch this video, and there's other videos on chin stand as well. So take your time. Okay, so we come forward, down, and up. Maybe you do a little hop, and maybe you hold, right? And you have like a little teeter-totter. Okay, so that's your first entry in. Or maybe it's like the next 10. We're almost there, I promise. And then maybe you come all the way up and hold. And then lower down and come into flow, but we'll land in child's pose. Let your forehead rock side to side. So whichever variation you came into today, just know they're all fantastic and they all take time. Chin stand is one of those inversions though that can surprise you. So be kind to yourself wherever you're at. And when it does come through, give yourself a nice pat on the back, because it requires a lot of solid grounding through the whole thoracic area, okay? Now we'll do a little bit of forearm balance as well, because that posture also helps us to build resilience. But this is a posture where you can go flying forward if you do hop up too hard, okay? So chin stand will catch you if you hop up a little hard. It's much easier to catch yourself. Forearm balance, it's more difficult to catch yourself. So that means less intense with hopping, okay? Now we can come onto forearms from our table pose. Be relatively close to the wall, but not too close. Elbows are under the shoulders, your hands flat. Push your elbows down so you feel all kinds of strength around your upper body, and you can come into dolphin pose. Okay, so that's where you want to be first. Then from here, you can practice walking the feet in. Notice hips start to align over the shoulders. That creates lightness so you can be on your toes, and you could lift one leg up, the other one might float, but it might not. You need to work the space of getting your hips over your shoulders first. And let me tell you, that can take years and years and years. This took me years and years and years to feel comfortable doing this. Okay, so take your time. You have the foundation, and there's no need to hop. Your body will float when the alignment is there. Then take your time from wherever you have gone, lower down, sit back onto your heels. Roll your shoulders a few times. Beautiful. So we have started to now stimulate all kinds of lymphatic production in the body. We have effectively cleared all of these spaces. So, excuse me, let's just give our lymphatic system a little bit of a boost. We'll do a little massage, and then we're going to use the wall. So you're seated on the shins. If you need props to be more comfortable, set yourself up. Nice, easy massage. So bring your fingers above your collarbone and just gently tap. Remember, when we do lymphatic massage, it's not about feeling deep penetration through the muscles. We really want to think about affecting the fascia, which is the place between your muscles and your skin. So just like a little tap. Just imagine stimulating those little layers of flesh. Yeah, not even flesh, it's like little layers of like spider web everywhere, yeah? Okay, so we've got that going on. Now just use your whole hand, or you can bring your fingers in to make little kitty cat or tiger claws, and just come down the front of your throat. Again, gentle stimulation. All down the front. You got it. And now come down the sides. So go up to like the bottom of your ears, maybe even slightly behind, and just bring that down the sides of the neck. You got it. Let your chin dip a bit and bring your hands behind your neck and sweep from center forward. Good. Come back up, go a little higher behind your ears, down the sides of the neck. Now we'll come to the space between the eyebrows with the fingers and just sweep outward. You can get your whole forehead, so from eyebrows to forehead, out to temples, just sweep it out. And then go under the eyes, along the cheekbone, out to the temples again. So we're not going in the soft flesh of the eyes, and you can use your fingers to go even down the bridge of your nose, or down like the sides of your nose, I should say, out to the temples. And then eventually move right down to the outer nostrils and out. And then come to the top lip, the center line, sweep out. And then the jaw or under the bottom lip, sweep from center out. And then along the jaw, just sweep back and down, back and down, back and down, down the sides of the neck. And then just tap above the collarbones again. Breathe in and breathe out. And nice and easy, just release through the hands. We'll scooch ourselves up to the wall. So up to you, we're gonna have the bolster under the hips, but you can put it might be easier for you to put it there afterward, depending on how big your bolster is. But either way, just scooch your butt right up to the wall, start to lean over to one side and turn over onto your back. Eventually bringing the bolster underneath the back of the hips. So the big wide bone at the base of your spine, the sacral bone, that's where you should feel the support of the bolster. So it's not on the lumbar spine, it's on the back of your hips. But also it's not so low that your lower back is like dipping to the ground, right? So just make sure you feel nice support here, and your legs are up the wall and your arms are just relaxed wherever feels good. Breathe in and breathe out. And push the left heel into the wall as you draw the right toes away from the wall. And then we'll come back, press the right heel into the wall and let the left toes float away. Imagine you could touch the top of your yoga mat, but your hips are staying on the bolster, so you're not going to get there. And bring the left heel back. Okay, cross your right ankle over your left. Your hips stay on the bolster. Draw your toes to the top edge of your mat. Think of thighs moving into belly. And then come back. Left heel to the wall, undo. And we'll cross left ankle over top of right. And start to reach the toes toward top edge of mat. Again, your hips stay down, so you're not going to actually touch there, but think about compressing the legs onto the belly. You might get some little shakes and release, that's a good thing. And nice and easy. Come all the way back, right heel to the wall, undo through the ankles, and just let the legs relax straight up the wall. If you do, because we'll be here for a couple minutes, but if you do want to feel just a little bit more of a therapeutic release and your blanket is nearby, you can grab your blanket and unfold it just enough so that it's easy for you to bend your knees and just drape the blanket over your feet as you lengthen the legs back up the wall. So it's just a little bit of feedback that you get from the blanket, but it can be really helpful, especially if you find that your legs tend to like just drift further and further apart, or if you notice that your legs don't like to stay like neutral, like if one foot kind of wavers outward and the other one wavers in or whatever. This will help keep your feet and ankles in a more neutral place as well. So it's really helpful for just those tiny alignment cues and feedback that come through the body. So again, just be where you need to be. Arms are relaxed where it's comfortable. Of course, your shoulder blades are flat, and we're just hanging out here. So this is another way of stimulating the lymphatic system, as well as regulating the nervous system. And this is even helpful for the digestive system and immune systems as well. So, I mean, just this one simple thing of having your legs up the wall does so many magical things for your body and helps your body really heal from the inside out. So we'll stay here a little longer. And it's things like this, right, that may seem like new to the mind, but this type of like asana or position for the body or posture for the body, like this is ancient wisdom, right? Like these are things that people see their pets doing all the time. Animals do stuff like this all the time because it's inherent in the wisdom that comes with carrying a body. It's part of the maintenance structure, but that has been stripped away from many of us, right, through modern day culture, which does tend to strip us away from that which we know to be true inherently from our inner point of view, not the external. So these things, they feel good and they resonate so deeply because you already know it. You already know all of these things. We're just simply reminding ourselves of what we've perhaps forgotten for a little while. So this whole process of connecting the body and the mind through asana in yoga, right? Like it's also the process of undoing the things we've learned that have disconnected us from that awareness. And of course, as you likely all remember this far along in the game, yoga is not actually a practice for physical strength and wellness and all of that. I mean, it is. We have lots of asana-based yoga, but that's not the main point of the practice of yoga. The main point of the practice in yoga is mental and spiritual wellness. It just so happens that we have a body, and that requires us to go through the body to access the wisdom that is inherently within us beyond the mind. Yoga is about ceasing the thoughts and being with you as you are in the essence of yourself in a moment. Not thinking about what you are, but being it. Yoga is the stillness. Yoga is the space between. And the body is the vessel which we travel in to get to that destination of inner stillness. Take your time. Nice and easy. Start to bend through your knees. If you are using the blanket, just grab it so you can easily set it aside, allowing knees to pull toward the chest, but your toes still touch the wall. Then we'll press the feet into the wall, lift your hips off your bolster, and slide it out from underneath you so your hips can come all the way down. Draw the heels a little closer to your bum and let the knees open wide. Maybe your hands come to the inner knees and you can press the legs into the wall a little bit more, but maybe not. You can just hang out here as well, let gravity do the work. Breathe in and breathe out. And then take your time, close through the knees, and maybe just wiggle yourself up your mat or turn over to one side so you can fully bring yourself onto your yoga mat, flat on your back. Shoulder blades flat, heels inch away from the hips. And as we settle in, we'll work into one round of our Tomo breathing. So of course, we'll do a bunch of repetitions. So if you prefer to have your blanket over your eyes for a more meditative experience, that can be lovely too. Otherwise, we'll just get settled in so we can begin. Remember, we keep a fairly moderate pace with this breath work. Let's start. Fully in and out. And in. Letting go. Keep going. Last 3. 2. Last one in. All the way out. Hold. Feel your body soften and sink into your mat in stillness, in space. Deepen through your breath. Enjoy a lovely reach and stretch through the body. Then soften. Keep your upper body relaxed as is and slowly drag your heels along the mat to let your knees stack over your hips, legs stay together, and draw circles with your knees. Just go one direction and keep going. Nice smooth circles all around. Get out the crunchy bits. Cross your right ankle over your left. You're still circling the same way. Get the rest of that gunky stuff out of the hips. Reverse the ankles. Keep going. Remember, you can make your circles big and small and vary it all between. Just smooth it out. Now go the other way with your circles. Left ankle is still over the right one. Now bring right ankle over left. Both legs together, uncross the ankles, still circle. And come all the way to stillness. Give your legs a hug into the chest. Feel the legs flatten into your upper body. Then roll over to the left. Press yourself up into a seat that feels comfortable for you. We'll bring palms to Anjali Mudra in front of the heart. And notice how tall you are. Let's draw a full breath in of love and gratitude into ourselves. And a breath out of love and gratitude for everyone else. And thank you for our practice today. Namaste. And I sure hope you feel wonderful and moved in a few ways, and that you can feel that extra length you have in your spine, and perhaps the extra space you have in your mind. Yeah? All right. Thank you for being here. See you next time. Much love, everyone.